The Voronoi fracture is great for fracturing objects such as glass, concrete, or even rock. But when it comes to fracturing wood, it's a little bit more trickier than it seems. I will now show you a technique that will help you create realistic wood splinters in a simple way. So here I have another Megascans model. Again, I've added a switch node where I can switch between the model and a box. And for now I will use the 3D model, although for this exercise you could use a simple box. So below the out geo node, remember this is just the geometry and I will create all the pieces below this node. I will add a transform node and I will scale this geometry in its y-axis. So let me change the color of the node. I will also change its name to transform y. And let's change the scale on y to 0.2. Now to create the points for the Voronoi node, I will add a grid. And I will change the scale to 0.5. I will template the node just to be able to see it. And I will scatter onto it a few points. Let's say 20 points. Actually, let's go higher to 400 points. Okay, that's fine. Now let's add a point jitter. And change the jitter scales. I will change the x-axis to 0 as well as the z-axis and change the y-axis to, let's say, 0.1 is fine. Okay, now that we have our points, let's add a Voronoi fracture and connect the points to the second input as usual. So notice how now we have this fracture geometry and we will revert it to its original transform by copying this transform node, pasting it after the Voronoi fracture. I will connect it here. And here is a very useful property on the transform node. If you scroll all the way down, you will notice there is an option called invert transformation. So let's click on this property and notice how now we have the wood plank back to its original scale. So let me connect an exploded view and connect it to the second transform. And notice how now we have this very long splinter-like shapes that are very difficult to generate with the Voronoi fracture alone.